What to do when a loved one dies. When you've lost someone that is close to you, it is a very difficult time, as I know you know. So most people, what we tell them is take the time to grieve, to deal with your loss. That is what is most important. You don't need to immediately reach out to a lawyer. Plus, you've got all sorts of things that you're dealing with. For example, the funeral home, maybe obituary, maybe taking care of other family members who have been left behind. All of those things are very important. Now, when you get to a point where the immediate grief and crisis has passed, then you might start thinking about, well, what legal aspects are important? What do I need to do? If you've dealt with a funeral home, you know that the funeral home typically tells Social Security about the loved one's passing if they're a retiree. Also, if they probably ask you how many death certificates you want. I recommend getting at least 5, even though they might cost a bit. The reason is that you'd rather have them than not when you're trying to collect assets from the deceased person's estate. What kind of assets? Well, this is when the legal part comes in. So it kind of runs 2 tracks here. Legal means what kind of estate planning documents did they have? Did they have a will? Did they have a trust? You're going to want to gather that information up. Did they have a safe deposit box where they kept it? Did they put it in just in their file cabinet or just in their house? You're going to need to find that. And then the other track that you're dealing with, and the lawyer will help you with this, is what assets did they have? Do they have a pension that's going to be paying out and continuing for another loved one? When it comes to the death certificates, did they have a life insurance policy? Did they have retirement accounts? With those types of accounts, those typically don't run through a will or a trust. They are standalone, non-probate assets. And if you're the person in charge of administering the estate, you're going to want to track down what all of the assets are. Now, this is something that you can do, but I highly recommend that you reach out to an attorney. Typically, the attorney that you're going to be reaching out to is the one that prepared the estate planning documents, because they know about your loved one's estate plan, the estate, the assets, and the next steps. Sometimes that person who prepared the estate plan is no longer in practice for whatever reason. Perhaps they're retired, perhaps they're deceased. There's all sorts of reasons. And if that's the case, then you're going to want to find a compassionate and capable lawyer who can help you with the estate administration. The estate administration could mean either there's going to be a probate of the will, or an administration of the trust, or just gathering up non-probate assets and making sure that they go where they are supposed to go. So none of what I was just talking about the legal or the assets, needs to be done right now. What needs to be done right now after your loved one has died is to make sure you take care of yourself and those other people that are affected by the death of your loved one. And then once you're able to take a breath and get yourself gathered up together, then reach out to the attorney.